Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Talk Show. We are going over the results of AEW. I'm Peter.
I'm Unstoppable Denominator.
All right, we're going to start off with Hager versus Eddie Kingston. First match of the night. Hager and Kingston were already in the ring and ready to fight when the show went live. Both men were still angry after the anarchy in the arena, so they went right after each other as soon as the referee had signaled for the match to begin. Both men dished out plenty of strikes, but there were also slams and suplexes. Hager was using MMA inspired throws while Kingston tried to do whatever was most convenient to cause much damage as possible. It feels like they're the first time in a while that Hager actually had a chance to perform with a bunch of other people from his team being involved. He looked good out there, definitely. So it wouldn't be surprising to me to see a few more opportunities in the future. Kingston is one of the best stars AEW has to have, and having him get a clean win in this match without any outside interference or major shenanigans was the right call.
Grade B.
Yeah.
Notable moments in conversations. Conversations or something like that. Kingston taking a stiff chop to the chest and responding by pulling down the straps of his singlet so he can take more damage is a very specific kind of energy.
Yep.
Kingston rules. Hager is in better shape now than he was during his long run with WWE. He has really put in the work to remake his body into a violence-making machine. It was a little surprising that we didn't see a single alley show up for either guy. Even just to make an appearance on the stage, it actually helped the match to not have any of that. But it was still unexpected.
Okay, just to let everybody know, we are reading because that's how we do our results. So if you guys see us reading, that's what we do.
Yes.
So don't take it personal if we're not looking at the screen and looking at you guys while saying it. But I will say that was a good match, and that was a good clean win.
Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal make their tag team debut. Sheen made his in-ring debut this week in a tag team match with Lethal against two jobbers.
Surprise, surprise.
This was quick and only served to establish Sheen as a guy who can easily beat up people who are half his size. Lethal barely did anything. Surprised.
Yeah.
So this may as well have been a handicap match. Sanjay Dutt serving as a manager allowed him to remain involved in this storyline. And he was kind of funny when the team was celebrating its win. This was nothing special. It was the typical squash match used to make a new wrestler look unbeatable. We've seen it a million times. Seen and Lethal get an easy win on their record, and the two guys, unlikely enough to face Cena, get an appointment with their chiropractors. Grade C-. So next we have Chris Statlander versus Red Velvet. Red Velvet tried to get an unfair advantage by attacking Statlander during her entrance, but the former alien saw it coming and power slammed her right on the floor. From the point forward, Velvet was at a serious disadvantage. Statlander's strength allowed her to keep the upper hand, even after she missed a crossbody and had to recover quickly. Velvet was able to get in some offense after she attacked Statlander's knee, but it only kept her on defense for so long. Even with a bad leg, the 26-year-old wrestler was able to control the pace against the smaller opponent. This match had a great competitive feel to it. Statlander scored the win, but Jade Cargill and the baddies had the last laugh after they attacked her. Anna Jay ran down to make the save, but she was also outnumbered and ended up being taken out. Athena tried to even up the odds, but several officials held her back as the crowd chanted, "Let her go." Everything about this worked well to further these feuds. It wasn't groundbreaking in any way, but it was a good segment to push the story forward without really changing anything about it. Grade B.
Let's get those. All right, FTR and Trent Beretta versus Aussie Open and Will Ospreay. The main event of the evening. This was a thrills match with Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis taking on Dex Hardwood, Cash Wheeler, and Beretta. The pre-match promo acknowledged the share of history between Ospreay and Beretta in Japan, but the segment also allowed FTR to get some good lines. The first few minutes of the series was a different combination of opponents working together. We might not have seen the possible combo, but it felt like they got in their hands and all three of their opponents at the same point during the match. One thing AEW does well is booking wrestlers to work together who can actually go out there and put a fun match on. Even if it's some deep storyline behind everything and it's taking place, but it's still easy to watch because 6 guys are at the top of their game right now. While the 3 and the 4 bouts what we saw this week were good, possibly safe to say that most people would pick this match of the night. It had to be some good technical wrestling for a few high spots and some classic double tag team, tag team wrestling. One of the guys from Aussie Opens takes the loss was predictable, but it was cool to see Beretta to be the one to get pinned for his team. He is a great talent who is somewhat unsure of AEW at the moment, but it's a crowd roster, it's a crowded roster to begin with because it's a new company, but it's just starting out. And it's been really great since he returned with a few with a new haircut and attitude. So
in grade B, notable moments and conversations. Having stars like Beretta and Ospreay, who know each other from New Japan Pro Wrestling, is going to help make some of these forbidden door hype matches a lot more enjoyable.
Yep.
For fans who know the history behind them, for everyone else, they are still fun bouts that might make some people check out New Japan Pro Wrestling for the first time if they like what they see. Even though I don't think we can get it around here. I don't know how, but it would be nice to know.
All opinions are valid, but if you aren't on the ATR bandwagon bandwagon at this point, it probably won't ever happen. But they are often called the best tag team in the world for a reason.
The only problem with a match that has a fast pace near the end is that guys stop selling big moves the way they should be sold. Sometimes a person will hit something that should be a finisher and the opponent is back up within seconds. It happens in every promotion, which is damn true, but it's still a little frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. At times, it does happen. In the wrestling world, I've seen it where a guy hit a pile driver, and this was in WWE. It was Jerry the King Lawler versus Taz, and King hit a pile driver, and Taz got right up from it, and gave him the Taz mission. And Jim Ross came in and hit him in the head with a bottle of like a glass jar of candy, and
Yep.
King took the win. So, but I'm just saying, like in that match, that should have never happened. Taz botched it. Taz should have took it and sold it.
But
it does happen. But yeah. So that was a good episode of AEW. So well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen. This is the wrestling results. This was AEW. I'm Peter.
I'm Unstoppable, and always like, subscribe, and check us out on our other YouTube channels if you want. We are
out.